want MASC to not be cut, right? And we're saying that MASC is going to be cut, the major is going to be cut by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board.
Right.
And then we received a call saying that that wasn't the case, that they weren't the ones in charge of that. So after we investigated and we did some research, all of us, we figured out that they do point out the programs that are low producing. So MASC is considered a low producing major because it doesn't have enough people graduated yet. So the process is they point it out and they say this program has to be cut. The university then goes, no it's not, this is why not, and they fill out an application and they do the whole process and they submit it, and then it's up to them to look at that application for an extension and see if they're going to accept it or not. So in the end, it really is their decision, and I don't think we ever really specified that it's them controlling the budget, which was their argument. So I don't know if you have any questions as officer.
So we all have flip video cameras?
Yeah, we do.
This is super cool, right? I know we've got them. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Yes.
You're talking about the education budget that's going to be cut, and there's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
programs.
They're cutting the budget overall, yes, and a lot of programs are going to be cut because of that. This program in particular is being cut because they're looking at programs that are low producing, that don't have enough majors, right? So they're saying MASC doesn't have enough majors, so let's just cut it. And our argument is it hasn't had enough time to grow.
Like 3 years and no funding.
It's only been around for 3 years, as it is, as the new curriculum. It's only been around for 3 years with no real funding, and now they want to cut it, right? So our argument is that it needs to stay, and we need to find a way to fund it. So, and then that's what we're fighting for.
Well, they need to cut somewhere else.
Athletics, big time. They're getting all this Coca-Cola and all this revenue, student
Yeah, they
service.
need to cut English and American Studies, or, you know.
She's an English major, and we can't argue that, I don't think. We want this one to be saved,
Right.
and that's...
I think that it's just the fact that, as you all remember, some of us went over to the Capitol for that thing that they were having, UTPA Day at the Capitol, and they basically wanted us to lobby for programs that they thought were really important and significant to this institution, such as the SAN mentoring program, which is like a sophomore and junior, senior kind of coursework that they do. I don't know. It's like
It's
a
what we do is with the sophomores, we're trying to retain them because we don't want them to drop out during the sophomore year. So yeah, when we got them in the junior year, we know for sure they're going to continue on and graduate. It's a retention program.
It's a retention program. So they have that, and then they had us doing for the science building, right? They're going to add another part to science building. And then there was some other thing for, well, the fine arts building is going to be demolished, and they're going to put like this new fancy one. And those are all really important, right, to their respective, you know, programs. But the thing is that why cut off funding for a program, as Orquídea said, that has been so neglected already? And obviously there's a need for that history on campus because, I don't know, I just feel like if people really knew what the Chicano movement was, we wouldn't be as hating towards it.
This is why it's not the curriculum and all that. They don't want us. They don't want you all to know.
And I think
This
that
is why
that's
not.
a significant thing. I mean, I think that it is like a denial of what's going on because, I mean, we've seen it just through the politics of everything that goes on, you know, and we're definitely not trying to say that there hasn't been activism before. I think that that's been like a recent issue also. We said that UTPA is a very conservative institution, and I, for one, completely stand behind that and think that that is true. If you really think about it, the professors here really want us to do this because there hasn't been activism before. There's been like the hope of activism on this campus, but it hasn't manifested itself since the 60s and 70s, right? And why not? Why can't we do it again? Why can't we have that passion throughout all the students uniting for that one thing again? And so I think that, I don't know, I've been a little bit...
It's discouraging, and I think that it is very, the different phone calls we're getting and the different emails we're getting are trying to create divisions and trying to make us question what our argument
like who's on our
stands.
side.
Yeah.
are we really in this like together, and who's not with us, and it's trying, I think that it's a negative thing because it's trying to turn us against one another in a sense, and I don't think that that's what we want.
And that's why we have to stand behind our argument, right? We're supporting the Mexican American Studies program, the Mexican American Studies major at the University of Texas Pan American, because it's the largest Hispanic serving institution in the U.S., right? And it would be a shame if this program was lost.
I was already told, like somebody who's an idiot goes, well, nobody gives a shit about that anymore. I don't care about sports. They literally told me that in my face, and it's disgusting.
It's disgusting, but I think that it's something that we have to realize is probably the consensus mentality of most of the students on campus, and that's because obviously the education isn't there, right? If they did know, they wouldn't be thinking that, you know, the sports or the athletic curriculum.
Or say say nobody gives a crap, or go back to Mexico if you don't like the way they think.
Exactly.
I was told that by somebody yesterday.
I think that we've all been told things like that. I mean,
I think we should be focusing on the larger picture is our education. They're dictating to us what our education should be instead of listening to us, and we want this. Right. It's not like it's not a choice whether to fund it or not. We want it.
We want it.
And I think that that's one of the reasons why we decided to go with this name, like the Tejana movement for education, because it's more than just. I mean, it is the Mexican American Studies program that we're fighting for, obviously, right? That's the center of it. Right. But it's also all the other things that it implies by removing this program. First of all, we don't have control over what we want in our education. Second of all, we're getting it's become a dictatorship, right? It's become this very hierarchy kind of system where we don't get to choose what we want to learn about. And it's not only that, but it's a lot of people are on board with this because they also feel like it's a representation of the budget cuts to the Texas grant and to the Pell Grant, and they think they're trying to push us out of the education system, right? Because who's going to be most affected by those Pell Grant cuts and the Texas grant cut? It's going to be the Mexican American population. Yes. So it's a preservation of everything. It's the history, this today, and then what tomorrow is coming also. Or forward. So I think that I definitely agree with you that we need to really like stand united. If you all really want to do this, we need to be on the same page. Obviously, we're trying to figure out like getting that written statement from you.
Right. Yeah. I called the person at the THECB back and told her that I wanted it in writing, which is awesome. I love the technology because now I can ask for it in writing and she can email it to me, but she hasn't, right? So if they keep pursuing it, if they keep calling us, just say that. If anybody calls you, we need it in writing. Or if they promise anything, we need it in writing. Yeah. All right? So make sure to get that as well. Anything else we want to talk about?
We wanted, I guess, you know, one of the, I mean, I got here like a couple of minutes early, but I was late already. I really wanted for our guest speakers today to, I guess, give us like a sense of what it was to move your movement during the time that you did and how you're still moving it right now, obviously. But, you know, like, I guess it's just like a pep talk. Because I think we all need a real good pep talk right now, because some of us that are, you know, trying to push this forward are already kind of having a lower morale than we had. Like,
well, you're present, pep talk to us. You know, you all.
Pep talk, cuando déjame.
Pep action. Pep.
Ahí creo mucho más, mira.
Pero dame tiempo, bien.
Ahí voy a talk to you. ¿Hablas tú con ellos, quieres?
Nada.
That's okay.